thank you so much for rejoining us on the show. We're just getting started. If you just joined us, so you're in luck, and just stick around, stay with us, and enjoy. Well, for those who might have to go get something, I know it's a work hour, so don't worry. You know, you can always get the complete version of this discussion on YouTube, and then you can watch. And also, there'll be a repeat broadcast on GoTV and Star Times tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. So you're in luck. But this is Nigeria. BDC might not give you so much chance. So YouTube is always a go-to. I have two guests in the house today that will be talking about eliminating violence against children. So very close to me here is Rudy Atiye. She's the founder of Era Gates Foundation, a foundation that deals with children. It's good to have you on the show.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and another lady there, she's fair like me. Lighter though. I have with me here, I have to look at that name, Asimawu Arai.
Yes.
I got it.
Yes,
okay.
Right.
She's a child rights activist, and she's also a member of a foundation. I would not say the name, but just take it like that. It's good to have you on the show too.
Thank you very much.
They're both first timers on the show, but you know now they can never just come once. You'll be here again and again. So talking about your foundation, I want to know, you're young. I know you're married, but why open a foundation for children?
Okay. Basically, looking at our society today, we discovered that though they have child right law, but the government is doing little or nothing about protecting these children. And I just sat on my own and I thought, how can we really help these children when it comes to abuse? I made some consultation. I just did like a research. I went to school taking sample from children. I discovered that 60% of the children I interacted with, they are facing one abuse or the other. So I said to myself, how can I really help in doing this? If we cannot eradicate, at least bring it to the minimal level of preventing this. So I said, okay, let's start with the awareness. From the awareness, I never thought it could go this deep. From the awareness, I discovered that, okay, you are telling us be mindful of this. What about if I'm already in it? What do I do? And I went back to my drawing board. I said, can I really pursue justice for these children? Can I really help in rehabilitating them? And the thought came and I discussed with one or two persons, and I said, okay, yes, if you can put this and this together, creating the awareness one side and rehabilitation is also possible.
So your foundation does both?
Yes, we do.
Okay, that's cool. Good to have you on the show. You're both welcome. Now, we're talking about violence against children. We've talked about domestic violence. We've also talked about rape as a topic on the show. In fact, that one we had to bring some psychologists from the UK. But now we have you here, and we're just focusing on children. What are some of the violence, or what exactly is violence against a child?
Okay, violence against a child can be defined as putting an act or treating a child the way it's not supposed to be. Like for the sexual violence also, is when an adolescent, an older adolescent or an adult forces or entices a child below the age of 16 for sexual intercourse. Not just sexual intercourse, exposing of the child's genital is also an abuse.
Wow.
And also asking the child to touch you is also an abuse. Then when you try to give a child labor, that is also one of the child violence also. Giving a child the duty that child at that age is not expected of that child to do is also child labor. Then we have the domestic, when you maltreat the child probably with food or beating without reasons.
And now you just mentioned something about child labor, big topic in
Nigeria,
Nigeria, or should I say in Africa? That's a big issue. Okay, so it's good to have you here. I don't know which of the names I should stick with now.
You can stick with Asimal.
Asimal. Okay, fine. In the course of interacting with children and helping to give a voice to them, do you have any story to share of any of these children you've interacted with?
Yes, I have a couple of stories. We have stories where children are being abused domestically, whereby they are given jobs to do that are above what they can do, what they can carry out. And also we have sexual abuse on children, even emotional abuse on children. Children are being abused emotionally, whereby parents don't really give attention to most of their children. The child will need your attention. You tell them, I'm too busy, I'm busy. The child call upon you. Most of these children that are being abused, they seek the attention of their parents. And you see the parents are not really there to listen to them. And when you don't give them this attention, they'll get withdrawn to themselves and they don't openly come back to you to tell you this is what I'm actually facing out there.
Yeah. Okay, now we'll come back to you, Rudy. For the cases of sexual abuse, we've noticed in time past that most of these children who end up having going through sexual abuse in their homes are usually abused by people they know or relatives, and they might not say anything, but eventually when they do tell their mothers about this, the women hardly do anything to protect the children. And why would a woman sit down and let the children go through things like this and not fight for their child?
Okay, from our discovery, what we discovered was that majority of women want to save the marriage. Yeah, there was a situation whereby the girl complained, I think she was 12, that she was being violated by her uncle that stays with them, the daddy's younger brother.
Yeah.
And the issue was brought before the parents, and the mother was very furious about it. And she said she was going to arrest the brother-in-law, and family members came into it, and they said, from the minute you arrest him, pack your bag out of this marriage. We came into it. She was giving us go ahead to pursue justice for the child, but after a while, she stopped picking our calls. We're like, why is this woman? What? And the next thing she said, please, I don't want case, so it's a family matter. We've resolved it among ourselves. I told myself that something must be wrong, so I persuaded her and I told her, let's see and talk. And she busted into tears. Was saying that she can't, that our marriage, one, our marriage, then two, the stigma of the child, that what would people say that the uncle will let. I said, do you know what you're doing by covering this? Do you know you're exposing another child to this danger? Do you know not getting justice for this child will grow up. She's already 12. She knows what has happened to her.
Of course, she does.
She knows. This child needs help. Okay, let's rehabilitate, let's counsel. But she said, no, that she's not giving any testimony. She's not going to talk about it. So that's most African women. The first thing they will tell you is stigma and my marriage. I want to save my marriage. There was another one that happened also. Sorry to read this in. She works with Nigeria prisons in Benin here. A neighbor violated the daughter and the neighbor was arrested. But later she wanted to withdraw the case. Why? She said because at the end they will send out abuser to prisons where she works. And the abuser will start telling other prisoner, oh, that woman daughter, I raped her, that she can't stand it. And that's how the case was closed also. So you can see reasons why people really don't want to push for justice.
That's interesting that at this age and stage that where women are getting education, they still, we have a big issue to fight when it comes to religion and tradition.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a big one. Okay, now there's also you mentioned some forms of abuse. I'm wondering if a child who is not being beaten or given work to do that is beyond his or her age, or is watching the parents fight often and the dad hitting on the mom often, is that, or the women even abuse their husbands, beating the husband. Is that also child abuse?
To an extent, it is.
Okay.
To an extent, I would say it's child abuse because you are actually exposing the child to see the activity that's already going on in the house, whereby the child might grow up displaying such character that he or she found out was carried out in the house. And also this can still traumatize the child. Whereby seeing their parents always fighting, quarreling at home, it will make the children to really not have faith in, let me say, like in the institution of marriage. The child might, or he or she might think that that is how marriages are, where most of the times that's not actually what marriages are ought to be in the real context of marriage. So we'll say that fighting at home, even quarreling at home, is a form of child abuse.
Okay, now, how do you discipline a child properly? Because now, in a bid to fight child abuse, we have schools, especially private schools, make it a law that you do not hit a child in the school. The day you do, you pack your bag as a teacher and you're off. In fact, if the parents of the children even hear you beat their children, they come to school to fight. And then they give the owner of the school so much headache, the teacher eventually will have to go. So is it right to stop flogging children just because we want to stop child abuse?
Well, under the law, it is wrong.
Okay.
But individually, like if you miss it from the beginning, like me, I have a way of punishing my kids. If you miss it from beginning, that's when the flogging comes in. When you start depriving the child of what the child likes most, I think those things even work faster than flogging the child. Punishment also, you don't necessarily need to flog a child, because you could give the child mark or give the child where you don't expect to eat. But there are some punishments that we don't see as abusing the child.
Okay.
But flogging is a no.
Okay, so if a teacher should flog your child in school, you won't like it. Are you serious? And then we hear spare the rod, and
The other way
they
is
spoil the
they
child.
have naughty corners. You put the child in naughty corner, you deprive the child from taking his or her snack during lunchtime.
Okay.
Or you can have the child to kneel down, raise up your hand and close your eyes. But flogging, most of the time we flog out of anger. That was one thing I learned, because the child has already upset you, and that's why you're flogging. I think there was a school that they said that if a child misbehaves to a teacher, that particular teacher is not allowed to flog that child because the child is already angry. So you call someone else to flog, because you may want to use that. Why did you? And the cake can go to the eye, it can go to anywhere. So there are other ways of carrying out discipline.
That's true. That's true. All right, for those who just joined us, the program is Flipside. We'll go on another break quickly. When we'll come back, we'll talk some more about eliminating violence against children. We've not talked about eliminating it. We've just established what violence against children are, and we've not talked about preventing it as well. So we still have a lot to talk about. We'll be right back. Of course, is still Flipside, and we're talking about eliminating violence against children. My name is Daisy Obai-Savon. I have two ladies in the house, and we've been talking about this. Two mothers and wives. I have Lydia here, and I also have Asimau Aroy.
Yes, you got it right.
Good. Okay, so we've talked about as many forms of violence that could exist. Now, how do we prevent this situations from happening? So I'll go back to you right now.
Okay, that's one of the things we do is creating the awareness to children and parents, allowing the children to know their right as a child when they are being violated and when they are being abused, for them to speak out, and also for parents to take prompt action once they have any sight of abuse on their children. So that's one of the major ways we can use in preventing from happening, and also for the government to also help in persecuting abusers. Because if they are still out there in the streets, then we're going to have more abuse happening.
All right. Now, this might make you talk a bit more. What are some of the ways, because I might be a neighbor and a child in my compound is being abused and I want to help. So how do I know that this child is going through some form of abuse or another, so that I could help the child if the parents are not doing anything about it? What are some of the signs of abuse?
Some of the signs of abuse is withdrawal, especially for the girl, the female child. When they are being abused, they withdraw to themselves. They don't easily come out and they don't speak out. And another way of prevention, I think, is being close to your children, most especially the female children. We talk to mothers, we advise mothers also to be close to their female children, be their best friends. Talk to them, not shutting them out of your life completely, or they are trying to express themselves to you, you are telling them, shut up, keep quiet, it's not true. Listen to them, just give them a listening ear. Whatever they have to say, whether it's rubbish, whether it's true, first and foremost, listen to them and hear them out. So for a neighbor, you have a neighbor, coming back to your question, you have a neighbor that is an abused child. How do you get to know if this child is actually abused? You find out that some of the signs is withdrawal, the child withdraws to itself, always keeps to itself. Secondly, you find out that most children that are abused, they don't really want to be around that abuser. especially when it's a relative, a close relative to you is in the same house with you, maybe like an uncle, you are going out, you say, oh, I'm going out. You say, mommy, I want to go with you. You say, no, stay with Uncle A or Uncle B. You say, mommy, no, I don't want to stay with Uncle A, I want to go with you. So we should be very sensitive to this, all these signs from the children. Once they give you such sign, go along with them, investigate, find out from them. Then you know that something is actually happening around.
All right. And now that I am a child watching this program right now, maybe I've told mommy, or I'm afraid to tell mommy because I don't know how mommy is going to react. How do I help myself as a child? Because we still have some children, exams are almost done in most schools, and they might just be watching at this time at home. So what would we say to a child watching right now that's going through any form of abuse in the home? How would the child find help?
Okay, like I do tell my children, when I go for seminars to schools, I always tell the child you must have a confidence. The confidence necessarily may not be your mommy. When there's no cordial relationship between you and mommy, get an older child or an adult. It could be your teacher in school. I know they used to have counselors in schools. It could be your pastor's wife. It could be your pastor. It could be a neighbor, an elderly person. When you're telling mommy and mommy is not doing anything, mommy is not believing you, meet your confidence and discuss with your confidence. Most especially in school, your principal in school and your counselor in school, they must definitely pick up something to do something
to
about.
help. All right, now for women also who might actually be fed up with all of the situations and maybe they want to take the matter to court. Most times when it involves their husbands, they won't do that. But if it's a neighbor, okay, or a teacher in school, now all their energies are there. But they might not have the money to pursue a court case. The person involved might be richer than them. So what would be their fate? How can they find help?
That's why we are here. That's what our NGO, that's what we do.
Okay, you take up cases for free?
For free, of course, we do that.
Okay, okay.
So they don't need to pay a dime. You know, we take charge of everything.
Oh, okay.
We get them a lawyer, we pay the lawyer, and we make sure at the end they get justice.
All right, now one more question. And the issue of the home front, it's always very complicated. Now, I don't know how safe it is to even get into someone else's business and begin to help them fight a cause. Maybe because you're both trained to do all of that, but how do you protect yourselves from attackers? And what if the man involved is looking for you and blaming you for giving the wife a voice to talk, or the children the courage to talk? Have you never been threatened in the course of this fight?
Yes, the normal thing. The man would say, "You want to break my home? Don't break her. You marrying, you did your marriage. You want my wife to leave her marriage because of this and all that." We're already, like you said, we're already trained. You know, we just keep it calm and remain focused on what we are meant to do. We don't talk back. We just keep it calm.
Okay, that's cool. So maybe when I don't pray to find a child who's going through all of this, but if I do find one, I'll just call and put the matter on you so that you play my part by calling. Now let's talk about child labor, which you all pointed out as one of the forms of abuse against children. Will child labor ever cease in Nigeria? Do you think there's hope that child labor will stop in Nigeria?
I think it can stop, really, if the government actually step up to its responsibility. The government really have a lot of role to play, even the parents. One of the factors that contributes to child labor is poverty, especially in the rural areas. A lot of poverty down there, where somebody might just come from the city, the urban area, to meet you and want to help you take your child to school, or put the child in school and do all sorts for the child. Then you give the child to the person. You might not even know the person. You give the child to the person to help you train. Then the person now takes your child and turn your child to slave. So if there is a proper way of these parents taking care of their children, first and foremost, parents to give birth to a number of children they can take care of, they can cater for. I think we start from there. You give birth to the number of children you can cater for. Then there's a proper structure for these children. Go to school. When they come out, they have something to do. They have something to look up to. I think to an extent it can be eradicated, not completely, but let's start from somewhere. Let's just start with this basis. give that a number of children you can cater for. Then the government give us a proper structure. I think Edo State won an award for a number of children not being on the street. I think there was an award like that was given to Edo State, that they are one of the states that have the lowest percentage of street children.
So well, if you compare those states to the north, we should win an award, but even with the number of children we're seeing out of schools, still working, especially after school hours, it's alarming.
Most of them are, the majority of them are not
with their parents.
Okay, they're not with their parents.
Okay. No, they are not with their parents.
They're not with their parents. That's just it. They're not with their parents.
Okay. All right, now, I will take one more before I take my last break on the show. In the case of child labor, personal thoughts, beyond hawking and being a maid and all of those, we have children who still work, even though they are children. I've seen a child who's they call them a child star. I've seen a child who's a comedian and travels a lot.
Okay.
Goes to several countries to make people laugh. I've seen a child who's an actor, and they are always on set, going through scripts and doing all of those. Some are professional dancers. Your kids will sing. Isn't that some form of child labor?
At all.
Why? Okay, because the job has class and panache.
No, the child is not doing it forcefully. The child is bringing out his or her talents, which at the end of this is a benefit to the child and the society.
But Michael Jackson was not really, he had a talent, but the conditions with which he grew up was not pursuing the talent. wasn't good. Eventually, the dad made him work so hard, and before we knew it, he started having inferiority complex, and that led to all of the surgeries and so many other things. So I don't know if
it can't be related to child labor. Child labor is evil. It's really, really bad. If you see kids that are really in child labor, we can't compare it to someone flying all over the world or state to state, having fun and all that. Is not the same thing.
Okay, we'll go on another break quickly. If we still have time, there's one more question though I would want to ask the both of them, especially for women who have maids that are working with them. How do you even treat this maid? We know it's been for about 2 months now, they've been making headlines. A maid killed their ward, a maid killed his guardian, this one, that one. In fact, maids right now are all tagged witches and wizards and evil people. But you, as a person who is even watching them, are you treating them right? But we'll go on a break quickly, and we'll have It's About You. When we come back, if we have the time, we'll answer that question. We'll have to create time for that question. Okay, so what are actually the best ways to handle a maid? Not forgetting that some of them are really terrible. You didn't raise them from the beginning, so they come with their own character and all their many things. I'll start with you.
Well, one of the best ways I think you can handle a maid is just to treat them like your own children. I know, although it's not easy, especially those that you didn't raise from when they were small. Maybe you got them after they've maybe in their teenage age. They are really difficult to handle. Just for you to treat them like your own children. That's just the best way to handle them. And another thing I believe, if you cannot stay with a maid, let the maid go. There's no need keeping the maid. If the maid is giving you issues, let the maid go. And you cannot say that because you have a maid for the parents, then you have a maid and you have your children, you exempt them from doing all that house chores. You are just spoiling your children, because definitely they will not remain children. They will grow up to be adults. And tomorrow, who will help them out when they go to their respective homes?
Okay. All right, now, if you must even get some matrons are the safest. The older women, the younger children, the teenagers, the family members, the complete strangers. Which would you recommend? The ones that go and come, the ones that stay. There are several options now.
For me, what works best for me is the one that stays that I put in school.
Really?
Yes, it's paid me a lot. If you have the ones that really want to go to school, they'll be so happy with them. Like you said, when you train like yours, in the morning as you're packing things for your kids, you pack for bed, go to school. They don't see themselves like me because they are not working 247 in the house. And basically before they come to school, you have more that that job and come back. So that's what really they stay more along with you and they feel more relaxed with you. The ones you pay salary, those ones they just feel they don't have anything at stake, it's just at the end of the month.
Is it possible that most of these maids we see committing all forms of atrocities against their guardians? Is it possible that the way the guardians are treating them that make them do it, or they're just naturally
70%.
hardened?
70%.
Really?
Yeah, some women are really wicked. When you, that's when it comes to violence, you see marks on their meat, or you see them giving them rotten food to eat. You see them stabbing them. Oh, for you to break the dishes you're not eating. And see, send that same maid to make indomie for your child. You will take the grace of God now. We're all human, of course.
Okay. So then we have your last words on eliminating violence against children. So I would start with you. Or should I? Okay, Rudy, let me just start with you. Your last words on today's topic.
Okay, is a general work for everybody.
And sorry, you'd also roll out an address because you say you give free services to women who want to speak out and children.
Yeah.
So you could roll your address to your foundation so that people could reach out to you.
Okay,
so your last words.
Okay, so all we're saying basically is it takes a community to raise a child. It takes me, it takes her, it takes her, it takes you to raise that child. That one child that is being violated may not be your biological child, but for you to have experienced or come across that child, it shows that you may be the child's guardian angel. So when you see a thing like that, you speak out so we can help preventing. Our address is 31 Idean Crescent off Iyamaro, GRA, Benin City.
Okay, Era Gate
Foundation.
Okay, 31 Iyama.
31 Idean Street.
Idean Street.
Off Iyama.
Okay.
Our email address is info@eragatesfoundation.com.
All right, that's good. So your last words on eliminating violence against children.
Okay, just like Rudy earlier said, it takes everybody to bring up a child. And I would still advise parents to be close to their children, especially the female children. I will advise mothers, spend time with your children and get close to them. Listen to them when they talk to you.
All right, and now personally for me, I'm going to say this thing called marriage is really beautiful, but the major reasons why women get married is not only because of companionship, it's because you want children. So what uses it when you're in a marriage and these children you've been craving for aren't happy in the home you're creating for them? It's a complete package. So if one side of it is not working, you need to fix it. And if it's something beyond your fixing, you need to get help somehow. So speak out, women, and protect the children you've been. Men too should speak out as well, even though we know most of the times the mothers have to be the one fighting the battles. But our men, our fathers as well, if you know that this abuse is coming and the mother is not standing up to her duty, and whenever time you're home, you're seeing stuff's happening to your child, you have to fight for them, you have to speak out. Society will ask you, and of course God will ask you. All right. So I'm Daisy Vice. I want to thank you so much. You know, by tomorrow 4 a.m. there'll be a repeat broadcast, and of course you can get a complete video on YouTube from tomorrow. Thank you so much. Thanks to our guests.
Thank you.
It's so cool. All right. Have yourself an amazing start of the day and pretty year in advance.